Hey guys, welcome back to Encouraging Manhood. I wanted to just give you another thought here on your journey today. As you know, Ephesians chapter 6 is probably one of the most specific texts that gives you and I a very strong belay. And it's a practical belay. In fact, it speaks to the very heart of what it's going to take to restore the core of our nation, to rescue the family of today. Where it says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4, "Fathers, don't exasperate your children, but instead bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord." What he just gave you and I is like an instruction that if you and I could take it to heart, it would change everything. Instead, we live in a world today of exasperated men and women raising young men and young women. It's a generational cycle. You and I can change that. It just takes one thought being captured by Christ, one moment, and say, instead of saying, I'm gonna be dragged away by sin into the meadow of pleasure where it all comes easy, I'm going to let that thought be captured by Christ. One of the things my dad shared with me, I really appreciate my father, very wise man, he shared with me in his counseling practice. He's very aware of a lot of the evidence and studies that have been done on the brain of understanding just how powerful our thoughts are. Think about this for a moment. Every time you think a thought, it produces a protein structure in your brain. That protein structure impacts your very DNA. Now, think about what that does to how you pass on your genetic structure to the next generation. How those genes you've passed on to your children, to your grandchildren, were massively impacted by what you thought. It's more than just what we think. Well, my thoughts don't matter. Do you understand? Your thoughts are actually forming the next generation. So the next time that you're tempted to say, oh, well, this one little thought of giving way to sin, what's the big deal? Just know that you're setting your children up, your grandchildren up for failure. You're going to exasperate them with your own mind, or you're going to set them up for success as you, first of all, train your own heart to love the Lord. And then you turn and begin to teach them. So what do you do with the reality of knowing that you and I have both passed on genetically flawed thoughts? I mean, we can, if you've got grown children, you know, and as a grown child yourself, we come from very human family trees. Are we going to be stuck in condemnation? Are we always going to have to wrestle with these cycles that were passed on to us to sin because of our parents? It's to know that there was, yes, one man who came into this world. His name was Adam and Eve, and they sinned, and yep, sin came into the world through that one man. But Romans tells us then another man came in this world. His name was Jesus. And through him, you and I were given the chance to have righteousness, to have right thinking penetrate our family tree. So today, take those thoughts captive. They're producing proteins in your brain that are genetically training your DNA that you're passing on, not even just spiritually, but physically. That's powerful. And as a dad, it challenges me to make sure I'm passing on holy thoughts. You might think, well, good, I'm all done with my child rearing years. I don't have to worry about what I'm passing on. But now you have a chance to pass on spiritual genes as you impact them with your teaching, your way of life. As you know, maybe you've heard this before, you can teach what you know, but you're going to reproduce who you are. Men, today, let's reproduce hearts that love Jesus fully in the next generation as they watch ours, as we seek to faithfully live it out in ours. Blessings to you guys. Courage. Keep on climbing. Don't be taken out by the worries of this world. I know there's so much to be discouraged by, but if you'll keep on putting one step in front of the other, you'll find God's grace is sufficient in your weakness.